Hey, what's up guys? We're going to be doing a deck profile for the GAGAGA OTK deck that I was playing a few days ago. A lot of you guys wanted to see this deck profile, and I've been tweaking it a lot. I think that there still can be some room for improvements, but I'll give it to you guys as is, and in the future, if I think that we need to update this deck, by all means, let me know your feedback in the comment section below, and maybe I can make this deck even better, even faster perhaps, in the future. But that said, let's get started with the deck profile, and if you want to see any of the duels with me using this deck, I'll put some of them in the description box below so you can kind of see how the OTK works and kind of see how the deck plays out. I've definitely made some few changes to different variants, so yeah. But let's get started with the deck profile, and I'll explain how to do the OTK if you'd like to understand how the OTK kind of works. So first off, I play BLS, and I play Dark Armed, and then I play Gores. And then for the lights, I play 3 Cyber Dragon. You can definitely run Veilers if you want, but Cyber Dragon just opens up more options for you to OTK with, and as well as Cyber Dragon having the ability just to make a really quick rank 5, it definitely is pretty good. This card is pretty nasty. Also, it just baits out any of those bottomlesses really early on. I think it's a pretty nice card. This deck does not like back row because when you go for your OTK, you usually use 2 to 3 cards. So you need to get rid of those back rows early on into the game, and then Breaker does an excellent job at doing so. And then I play 3 Magician. He's part of the OTK. The OTK will require you to have Magician and Gaga Girl on board, and your opponent having a high enough monster with attack that you can actually OTK them with. And then I play 3 Tomatoes. Tomato is a key card in the deck. He's very important because he allows you to essentially set up for the OTK. You can also use Gaga Revenge. It's kind of like a monster reborn for GAGAGAs, but it is an equip. I guess you could say more like Premature Burial, but it's free. And if you use the monster as XYZ material, all the XYZ monsters you control gain 300 attack. So sometimes you just need that extra little bit of damage to finish them off, and it does help sometimes. But definitely just a good card. It's basically just a monster reborn when it comes down to it. Then I play 3 Gaga Girls. She's part of the OTK. And then to make it more consistent, I put Double Tour Guide and then Sangan and Night Assailant. Sangan is basically used because I want to get Tomato. That is a key card that you want in this deck. You definitely should add a Zen mains, maybe like a Leviair in the off chance. But basically, 99% of the time, you go Tour Guide Sangan, and you just want Sangan to die, and then you can add Tomato, because he's a key part in the deck. And then I play Lord of Darkness, because I run a lot of Darks. The only cards that are not Dark are Cyber Dragon, as well as BLS. And then I play 3 Gaga Bolts. This gets any problematic cards out of the way. And, it's just a really easy card to use. You just control Gaga, oh, it's cool, destroy card. So, gets rid of back row is what I usually use it for, because this deck does not like back row, because when you're going to go in for an OTK, you want to have a better chance at successfully OTKing your opponent, and so this helps out. Then I play Heavy, Dark Hole Reborn, triple Night Beam, double Duality, triple MST, and triple Gaga Revenge. The dualities are there because, again, like I said, Mystic Tomato is a key part in, setting up for the OTK. Adding a Gaga Revenge if your opponent only has like a 2400 or 2500 attacker on the board, you won't be able to go for game. You can technically deal 7,700 points of damage to your opponent, and I'll just go through like a quick little math session to explain kind of how the OTK works if you're interested in doing that, and if you didn't want to watch the video. But I'll mouse over the extra deck real quick. Let me just do this real quick. There should be a Zen mains in here. I thought I had it there, but it didn't save, I guess. But I will save it right now. Okay, so Zen mains, it's just there because Tori I into like just Zen mains, because basically you're just setting up to OTK your opponent in this deck, and I can't really make Excalibur in here. This was just a hero deck that I edited a while ago. But yeah, as far as the extra deck, this card is actually pretty good because all the Gagas, they're dark, so it works relatively well. If your opponent just somehow has a huge monster, and for whatever reason you don't think going for the OTK is right, you can just make Franken. But I just have these 2 synchros here because I think that they are key synchros that you can make relatively easy. Because of Monster Reborn, you can always reborn your opponent's cards, and then just take their tuner and then just sync for whatever you want. Here's Franken. The important cards in here are Gaia Dragon, the Thunder Charger, number 61 Volcasaurus. I was going to say Volcanosaurus, but there's no N in there. Then this is the card that you usually go for, is number 33 Chronomaly, Maku Mech. He's the key card that you OTK with, but I will mouse over the rest of the cards because they're not that important, but you can see the name if you want to net deck this. So how the OTK essentially works, and I will have my handy dandy calculator here so I can kind of explain how it works along with the calculator. So Like I said, for the OTK, all you need is GAGAGA Magician and GAGAGA Girl and your opponent to have a relatively large monster. Now, keep in mind, if your opponent's activate a Solemn Warning, this is just really easy. But majority of the time, your opponent will, at least take 300, 400 points of damage early on in the game, and with the GAGAGA Revenge, you can deal 7,700 points of damage, like I mentioned earlier. But more than likely, a Solemn Warning is something that will be activated, or you attack them directly with a Mystic Tomato or something like that. So I'll just show you how much damage you can put on board. On an average, let's just say, for example, they have a 2,500 monster on board, and you're going to try to go for game. In this variant, you will need something else like a Reborn or another GAGAGA Revenge, but basically, all you do is you have to have GAGAGA Magician on board, as well as GAGAGA Girl. So either normal summoning one of these and then special summoning the other one, or you can Mystic Tomato previously and you've gotten the other combo piece and you're just going to summon them. But yeah, basically you just need this and this. You use GAGAGA Magician's effect to make him level 5, and then you use GAGAGA Girl's effect to copy one GAGAGA Magician on the field, and you copy the level, so they're both level 5. And GAGAGA Girl also has another effect. So when you make an XYZ monster, as long as the other monster was a GAGAGA monster, you can target one special summon monster your opponent controls, and its attack becomes 0. So let's say they have a 2,500 attacker on board for the sake of this video, and now that 2,500 is at 0. And this card actually has an effect. So this is the card that you go for when you usually want to OTK them. And so it's once per turn, you can detach one XYZ material from this card to target one face-up monster your opponent controls, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the difference of its original attack and its current attack. If you do, this card gains attack equal to the damage inflicted. So you'll detach, you'll inflict 2,500 points of damage, and then you also gain 2,500 attack. And since basically you get a free direct attack now because that monster is 0, you basically just can add that onto your attack. So this one's attack is already at 24, so you get to add plus 24. And then depending if they've taken any damage or not, you might want to activate another one of these. If you use one of these for part of the combo, you will deal another 300 points of damage, which is also nice. If for whatever reason they have another monster and you somehow can just make a game a different way without attacking, it might be safer to go for this one, number 61, Volcasaurus. And you can make him, and then you can use its effect. So this one detaches one material, and you target one piece of monster your opponent controls. You destroy the target, then inflict damage to your opponent equal to the monster's original attack. This card can't attack your opponent directly, but if you can just make a game like that, that works too. Keep in mind, there's also this card that you can just, bam, if you have a rank 5 or 6, you just overlay it, and now you can basically have piercing too. So if you know that they have like a face down Raikou or something, you can basically just gain them with that anyways. You can deal, you can deal 7,400 damage as long as they have a 2,500 attacker. Keep in mind, if they've taken any damage, basically this like seals the deal in the game, because most special summon monsters will have relatively large attack. If they have anything 3,000, well, that's really easy. 2,700, that's easy as well. Also, there's like Grapha's like a popular card, so I mean Grapha with being 3,000 attack, you can definitely just boost them down to 0, and then they would take 27, and then you can basically game them as well. It's really easy to game your opponent in this deck, and it is pretty fast, and I'm pretty satisfied with this build. But by all means, if you guys have any suggestions to improve this deck, I would love to hear them in the comment section below. And if you guys want to check out some of the gameplay with this deck in action, you can also check the description box below, and I will upload some of the games for you guys, and you guys can kind of see how the deck works. But thanks for watching. Have a great day. Asian Eyes signing out.